I'm going to talk about fear because it's something in my life that has basically shaped it to what it is now. And it has caused transformation. And that's a funny thing to say because generally we avoid it. With avoidance, we let ourselves be led into situations rather than placing ourselves in situations. We grasp, we cling, we look for the things that don't do it. They don't make the difference. And I think I'm just going to go straight into it because this is what it's about, right? Fear. So my journey with fear started when I was 8 years old and I was raped. And what came out of that and what I've learned from that journey, was that it shapes you. It shapes you into what you are. And to transform that, you have to come into acceptance of it. And through the acceptance of it, then you have some power around it. And also, when you can really understand it, then you can change. And what I've learned is through the experience and the trauma of fear, in that moment, what happens is basically you're out of body. It's too much for the body. Your body switches off. Your consciousness goes somewhere else. Your body stores that intensity within it, but it's not, you're not there. And so later you can kind of come to a place of like remembering it. Like something will trigger within the body, like the body will have smelled something or it'll be in a color or whatever it was. It comes up because it's time for the body to clear it. And so your journey starts from there with it. And it, as I said, it shapes you. And what happens is basically your consciousness has gone somewhere else. It's going, it didn't happen to me. This isn't happening. It's too much. And so through that process, it's like an internal lying that happens. You're lying to yourself in a way. It's not intentional. It just happens. Like in the moment, it just happens. Everything's happening. And that shapes you. And so from that point, anything that becomes uncomfortable or not able to deal with, from that point, the body has memorized a way of actually dealing with the situation and getting itself out of it. So it's going, reality isn't happening. This isn't my reality. And so as a kid, you'll grow up and it's like, who took the last biscuit? Who took the last cookie? I didn't do it. Instant. It's like the subconscious goes, it just kind of clicks in there and it'll just respond for you because you're not aware of it. It's just the body's response. The body's response is to project that out to the uncomfortability of it. That's where my journey's been. And because I had such a beautiful and amazing mum who was very, very powerful and very direct, that was my response to her the whole time. It was just like, let's get out of here. She's confronting me. This is too much. I can't do this. That happened. And I'm not saying that being confronting is a bad way because it makes certain people react in a certain way. No, do it because it's powerful and it works. What I'm saying is that there are certain people that will react in different ways to it. And it's because they're not aware of how they're even reacting. It's just subconscious triggers all the time. So how I started to transform this was that because it became such an issue and I caused so much pain and hurt with people, was that I came to yoga. I came to meditation because it really wasn't working anymore. And I needed a way of creating something that would work in the world. So through yoga, what I've learned is that you can use your breath and use your energy within your body, and you can breathe into certain parts of your areas of your brain. And you can use that area, but what it is it's like you're having to consciously, like you've been triggered, like you will be triggered. You're having to consciously go, breathe forward. I'm not going to get blocked back here in the fear area of the brain. I'm going to breathe up to the front, and I'm going to connect with here, my heart, and here. And then talking from that place allows for something different, allows for a different reality to be generated within yourself out into the world. And it's beautiful that we have the possibility to do that. But say for me, I mean, if I've had how many years, I mean, it would be like 20, 28, 27, something like that, years of reacting in a certain way. Your neural pathways within your brain, within now, are all set up to just, if you're triggered, feel uncomfortable, go to that place that gets you out of that situation as quickly as possible. So conscious breathing has been one way for me to deal with it, and really kind of come to a place within myself where I felt confident enough to go, hang on a sec, I just need 2 minutes before I respond. I just got to get focused on what I'm going to say. So if you're direct enough with your intention in a conversation, then you can actually create the space for yourself and then breathe into where you need to and then talk from there. It's not something that changes overnight, and you'll fuck up because you're working on levels of the mind and levels of your body and being that are ingrained. Like you've got a path there that's well trodden, and so you're having to kind of cut some grass and out of the way so you can go a different way, so you can create a different route. And then you've got to tread that path enough so that it becomes your new way. And I mean, what it means, or what it's meant to me in my relationships, like how it's shaped how I've been, is that I met two amazing women, but because of the way I was and the way that the world shaped me, I was unable to keep that together. And I've come into, well, I'm still going through the process of it, but what it's meant is that those relationships that were never gonna last. They were never gonna be something that was gonna be stable enough to last, because I wasn't stable within myself. I didn't create enough safety within a relationship, enough integrity within a relationship for that to last. So now it's about truth, and it's about now and what's in front of me, and generating something new. And there's a possibility of that. For the first time, I come to a place where it's like I got angry. And it kind of, something shifted like massively, because through the repression, through trauma, you go out your body and everything's repressed. Everything's covered up, like a screen's put over it. And the way you react to things changes. It's like repress that, repress that, repress that. I got really angry. I got triggered into fear because I got paid, and I got paid so little that I didn't know how I was going to pay for food for my son. And it was so confronting, and I went deep into it. It was the fear, but instead this time something had shifted and changed, and I got really, really angry for a day, like a full day of just anger, and a half, a day and a half of it. And it's so damaging, but it got me up and it got me moving. And it was like, we talk about chakras, like chakras going one way, repression, it went full the other way, too much. And now it's kind of slowing down and it's coming back into center. And it's meant that it just feels like there's a lot more balance there. And I'm able to be just me. So breath is one way of dealing with fear. Another way, which is more direct, and it's pretty amazing and transformational, is when I first started my spiritual journey, which was a long time ago now, was Ramana Maharshi's teaching of self-inquiry, and really looking for who's the one who's in fear. And when you look, it's elusive, because really you can't. And when you look, you come to this place of space. And it's like the space flows through you, and you become, I would say, in flow with what's happening now. Rather than having any fear around it, it's just natural movement of now. It's a state of consciousness. There are many, and certain people put emphasis on that way, but there are many states of consciousness. And I like to explore all of them because that's who I am. I just like to explore. That's part of my being, and I love spirituality. And when I came to it, it was phenomenal. I've never done drugs or anything like that. I'm kind of been too kind of clean cut for that. But what I've done is just really down the line is meditation, yoga. And what I found with yoga was that I had to kind of create a new way, like forge a new path. And what that means for me, forging a new path, was that it was just, well, I have to do something that I haven't done before, and do it in a way that I haven't done before, which was, I would do it every day. Every single day, I would get up at 4 a.m. and just go for it and do my practice, be my practice. And it's as simple as that. But in simply doing that, what you've done is you've created a space for yourself, which is new, which is what you're going for. You're going for something new in your life. And the only way to do that is to create something new. So you do that. And it means that you shift from somewhere where you were to a different place. Instead of being that way, go that way, in alignment. Which is another experience. So I've had to kind of go from this really other way of being to another way of being. And it's taken a long time. It doesn't change overnight, and I'm still dealing with it. And I'm still going to hold that monster that's now a lot smaller, and I made friends with it. It's going to be something else. It's going to be, oh, I thought you showed up again. Hi. It's what it is. And there are so many people out there, so many people within the spiritual scene that have experienced trauma, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. It's okay. And there are ways, and there's so many different ways. And I'm not going to highlight one better than the other, because we are all different beings and we all experience something different. Like windows looking out from different perspectives. Everyone is valid. Everyone has their way. I have found that creating some space, a different way, a different space. So, I mean, recently, instead of going 4 o'clock, I'll go 3:33 in the morning, and I'll get up then and I'll go into my practice. And it's like my body's going, but you don't get up then. You don't do that. You can't, But this is what we have to kind of move through to create something new within ourselves. It's like, I'm going to talk about Jesus, because he's just fucking amazing. So you create that new thing. And for Jesus, he went off into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. What being does that, It's like, what, you crazy? But it's so out of the normal state of being that it creates this completely different space, completely different to move into. And from that was created something magical. So these are the things when we talk about kind of how we're going to shift to a different level and you've reached a plateau. I would suggest that it's at those points when you think you're not going anywhere and you've attained your alignment, is that you kind of go, hang on a second, how can I shift to a place that I haven't experienced before? What do I need to do? And it might be as simple for somebody as just going for a walk at a certain time in the day and just being present where you are and experiencing that. Or for another person, it might be, how long during the day can I just be in a state of internal inquiry? And then measuring that out and writing down, I was like, today I managed it for this long, tomorrow I managed it for this long. Oh, I did a lot less today. And working at it. And somebody else, it might be, I'm going to make a sales call and I'm going to make 500 sales calls. But each time I make a sales call, I'm going to make it more light and more funny for each call. How am I going to do that? And challenging yourself, making fun of it, having it as a game, an internal game for yourself. It's not about getting to anywhere. It's about, for me, the experience of whatever it is in the moment, and experience it from within yourself. Not trying to shift anything, because it's all here right now. Just being here with it. there are so many people out there like kind of shifting out, like trying to change the world. Let's do this and let's give that talk, and let's, yeah. I would say give all of that up straight away. Just give it up. There are rules, there are systems that we have to abide by as humans, and we're gonna, it's like other people go, don't do it, don't abide by this. You just get locked into it. It's like, I'm gonna be in complete acceptance of it. And then from that place, from being in complete acceptance of where I'm at and being in the system, then I'm gonna, once I'm there, then I'm gonna create something from there, like I am now with this video. And I'm gonna say something really radical, because it's a possibility. Everything has a possibility. You can talk it into existence from wherever you are, like I am now. I just put it out. We can change the world today. We don't have to wait for tomorrow. And how we change the world today is we simply believe that it can possibly change today. That everybody on this planet can wake up and be who they were meant to be. Completely open, completely free, completely present, and completely now and loving to each other. Because really, that's all we want, right? We want an existence that will feel loved, that is enjoyable, is beautiful, and a beautiful experience for the ones that we love and we care for. I have enjoyed this talk, and it's been really nice to connect with anybody who's out there, and let's change the world from just being. Real, open, expressive, and free within. Now I'm going to have a slice of tea and a cup of cake, because it's the right time for that. Thank you. Goodbye.